Hi, my name is Gregory and I go to Hong Kong International School. This is my second milestone for my project, a music note detection game. So for this milestone, I decided to make one where it. I decided to make it recognize notes from frequencies, and to do this, I just made a simple code that could take a. Actually, I'll tell you later. But you just have to know that the gist of it was that I um for this milestone I converted frequencies into music notes that someone could read and not just have a frequency value. I am going to demonstrate it now. So this is the serial monitor for sorry. So this is the serial monitor, and this is and I don't know if you can see, but it says it's having random values, and that's because I haven't played anything yet. So for my demonstration, I'm just going to play a few notes from the scale, in particular B flat. Excuse me, I may have to. Sorry, it's technical difficulties. So as you can see, it is printing out a B flat, and I can also do a C note. Sorry. Oh. Yeah, this is C. This is C. I don't know why it's moving. And it's playing the C note as well. And so my project at this stage still only has two components: the sound sensor, which I had to replace after the old one stopped working, and the Arduino Uno board, which takes the analog input from the sound sensor, and it uses this cable to send the results that it interprets back to this serial screen where I can read them. For this project, I mainly focused on coding it, and as you can, and up here is the code. It mostly consisted, and how the code worked was once you got a frequency value, the code compared it, and if it was in a certain range, it would print out the note that it was within that range. And some challenges that I had making this were trying to figure out a good way to convert the frequencies into notes. And this process went through a few iterations. First of all, I made a primitive version of this code that that was only for B flat scale because it seemed like a lot of work to make it function for the entire spectrum of trombone notes. And then I decided to switch the project work it, to working with an equation system where it would give a note based on an equation. But then after some input from another student in the class, I decided to use ChatGPT to duplicate the B flat code that I had already had, and then from there I decided to modify it a bit to make it work better. Some challenges I had were that it wasn't exactly very accurate, and and it gave inconsistent results. And I solved that by adding in a 1 second delay so that it would only read after 1 second, which helped boost the accuracy a lot. Another thing that wasn't working was it randomly began printing out infinite value for frequency, and after looking at it a bit more, I found out it was because the microphone was slightly damaged, so I had to replace it. The next steps in my project will be to add a scoring system to and determine how far off a certain note is from what you played. Thank you.